Hey everybody, Damon Comerio with Comerio Homes. I want to take a second and talk about our Inground sprinkler system controller. Alright guys, so we're going to talk for a second just about the simple functions of this Hunter sprinkler controller. Alright, so as you see here, we have a control dial and it's set to run. We have daytime, start time, run time, watering days, seasonal adjustments, solar sync, manual, and system off. So if we wanted to turn the system to the off position, we just simply turn it to that right there and it'll flash off right there on the screen. It actually shows a little sprinkler valve or a sprinkler head and it has a line crossed through it. If we want to have it set to run, then we just turn it to run. Alright, so now let's talk about setting it for the actual start times. So let's turn over to the start time dial, and now we're going to use the over arrow to toggle through the different times we have. So we have, I think this controller has 4 different settings, so there's a number 1 there to tell us that our first setting is going to come on at 4 o'clock in the morning. So if we go over 1 toggle to number 2, our second on period is going to go to the off position because we don't want it to run. We have a 3rd one which is off and a 4th one which is off. If we keep hitting it over, it's going to go back to number 1. What we would do with that is if we wanted to water in short bursts or water more, we could set it up to turn on up to 4 times per day to water this house. But we generally in this part of the area, we only need to do that about 1 time a day on the most. So then we'll click over here to the run times, and now we're going to actually tell this every individual zone in the yard how long we want that zone to run. So I know that most of these programmers only have 4 to 6 zones available, and that means that we've got different zones in our yard. So for example, the front yard is a zone 1 generally, the side yard is zone 2, then we have 3 and 4 across the backyard, and then 5 on the side yard by the garage, and then maybe 6 up on the front side yard. So those are generally the positions we have with zones 1 through 6. So to actually adjust what we have here, so we're going to see it says zone 1, 12 minutes. So if we wanted to increase that run time, we would just simply hit the up button, the plus button, to increase that from 12 minutes to 13 minutes, which is what it was set on. And then we're going to hit the toggle button over to now switch to zone 2, and we're going to run for 12 minutes. We can go up and down on that. Zone 3, zone 4, 5, over to zone 6, and then this is going to roll back over to zone 1 again. And so we basically told it how many minutes per zone we want it to run when it comes on. So now we're going to switch over to the watering days. So let's switch to the days here. So it's going to light up and shows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the bottom, and it has a black water drop that is signaling that is actually working on that day. And basically, if we do not want it to run on a certain day, we just have to hit the plus or minus to get it to cancel out, and then it toggles over to the next day. So for example, it's blinking on Monday, so today's Friday, and if we wanted to not have it work on Friday, we would toggle over until it's blinking on the day Friday, and then we'd hit the minus button and it's going to cross out Friday. So now it's not going to work on Fridays. So if we want to change that, we just simply go back and then we hit the plus, and now it's going to work Fridays. We currently have this system set up to run every day of the week except Wednesdays, because that's the day we have the lawn mowing company come to mow. So now let's talk about manually setting a zone. And so if we want a zone to turn on manually, just to run by itself to test the sprinkler heads or just to make sure it's working, we would turn it over to the manual button, and then we would just go ahead and turn it back. We would turn it to the manual switch, and then we turn it to the zone that we want. So let's say we want to have zone 1 in the front yard turn on. We leave it on that, and then we turn it to run. So now if you actually were able to look outside, the sprinkler heads are kicking on in the front yard right now and running. So now I can see that that's actually working. If I want to shut it off, we just simply turn this back to the off position. Because there's water pressure, it does take a minute. It will take, several seconds to a minute for it to shut back off and drain back down. If we wanted to start the next zone, we simply go back to manual again, and let's see, we'll go over here to zone 6, which is on the side of the garage. We'll probably be able to hear it. So I'm going to turn zone 6 on here and then turn it to run, and it should take a second, and then zone 6 should fire up. I can hear it starting to try to turn on. Okay, cool, zone 6 is working, so we're going to go ahead and turn that off to the off position. So now if we're done monkeying with all that, right? All we have to do now to just get our system all running, once we've set all these days up, is just turn it to the run position and it's good to go.